Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Global Intelligence Update. Joining me, our first guest of the year, Caroline Mohr. And for those that don't know who Caroline Mohr is, let me do a quick introduction on Caroline. Caroline is from Sweden and is a global keynote speaker, coach, and former golf professional. Her story of surviving a natural disaster, cancer, losing her leg, and making an incredible comeback is a great example of her potential to grow through challenges. Caroline has been featured in Forbes, the Times, the ESPN, and spoken over 100 businesses in 14 countries. She inspires you to grow through challenges by sharing unique strategies of building strong mental muscle, becoming resilient, and how to tap in your inner strength. Thank you for joining us, Caroline.
Thank you so much, Chris. And hi to everyone who has dialed into this call today. I'm very, very excited. I was a guest on the Circle of Excellence community last year in 2023, and I'm very, very thankful to be a guest again today, talking about building a strong North Star and plan it backwards. So I'd like to take you with me on my journey. And first of all, I would like you to imagine that you are a young teenager. You're having the world in front of your feet and you're excited to get going. So I walked in with this feeling into this travel shop for the very first time. I looked at all the bags and I searched one which was red and it had a little bit of navy blue details on it. It was a big rucksack, a big backpack that I was gonna pack with everything that I needed for this journey. 25 kilos. I felt it on my back as I tried it on. I closed my eyes, I visualized myself stepping off the plane in Sydney, Australia. I packed my backpack, I sat myself on the plane. I looked at my boarding pass and I saw Sydney, Australia. It was finally happening. Right there and then I heard my English teacher's voice. She said, with a little laugh in her voice, "Caroline, your English is too weak. You will never be able to travel out of Swedish borders." I froze in my seat, wondered, what am I doing on this plane? Alone for 4 months on a backpacking trip. Will I even be able to step off the plane? I heard that voice that came as a demon into my life, and I was reminded of that painful moment when she stood in front of me in the corridor at high school. She told it straight to my eyes, and I felt defeated, like the world was no longer in front of my feet. I found that out of painful moments in life, we can grow strength. I don't know about you, but if you go to your own experience where you have been stopped by doubts of others, where somebody have told you that you are not going to be able to do what you want to do, or somebody has questioned your dream and your passion, what has happened? It's like you take this heart, that passion of yours, and it's being crushed for a moment. But it's in that broken heart where the seed can start to grow. And once it starts to grow, it grows super strong because it has already defeated the biggest obstacle. And looking back at that experience in life, when I felt defeated, it was really important to acknowledge that I rised up. I did rise up. At that moment, I felt completely washed out of all of those dreams, but it led me to search for options how I could learn English. My solution became a backpacking trip to Australia. A couple of years later, I found myself in a different situation. Having gained my golf professional license, I was en route towards my dreams. I was finally gonna travel the world, speak English at my speeches when I was gonna win those big trophies. I had the dream visualized for my eyes. And as I opened the letter where the word said, "Welcome to the professional communities of golfers," I felt that I was en route. But there was something in me that said that not everything was in order. So I went to have a checkup and met my doctor because my knee had been swollen for a while. I sat down on the chair in front of him as he turned towards me, and he didn't even wait for 2 seconds until he said, "Caroline, we have found cancer in your right knee. The only thing we can do, because chemotherapy or radiation will not save your life, the only thing we can do is an amputation above the knee, and it has to happen within 3 weeks." It felt like these words were too big. They were too filled with change, and they didn't fit into my full life as an elite athlete, having a very specific and strong North Star. The North Star I'm talking about is what you want to contribute to in the world, the bigger picture, the one you can look upon on the sky and you see that it's guiding you forward, that North Star. And that North Star comes from the big passion, the interest, the passion where you forget all about time, all about where you are, because you're so immersed in what you do. Together with your passion and who you see yourself as your identity becomes together your calling. Your calling, the activity to get to the North Star. My answer was to become a golf professional because I love playing golf. Something came in the road, a big obstacle. I was going to lose one of my legs. And it didn't mean that I couldn't pursue with that North Star of mine to play golf on the world scene and to show young athletes that it's possible to follow your dream. But something happened, something that I wasn't aware of happened in that moment. And as I transitioned from having one leg, preparing myself for this new life, I realized that I had a lot of new answers that I didn't know about. How is it to buy food for the first time on one leg? How is it to play golf? How is it to bicycle? How is it to walk in high heels? And that search for these answers awoken a new passion of mine, a passion to know, how do you rise up from painful experiences and painful moments? How do you rise up and find that fire? It became more and more clear to me that the new North Star was inspiring others how to rise up from painful moments and turn that pain into a calling. How I could do that through the activity became my voice. And it hit me that being in school, standing in front of my teacher, having her saying these words of defeating my dream to use my voice in different languages more than my mother tongue in Swedish, it became so clear that she was a guide on my path, because I had to search for options to speak English. Otherwise, I wouldn't know how to use my voice in more languages so that I could actually contribute with my North Star, helping people to rise. And the role that I had, the new role, was not on the golf course. The new role was being a speaker, a global speaker. So if you for yourself just reflect on, what is my passion, my interest, where I forget all about time and space, I just immerse myself in that activity. What is my identity? How do I view myself? What's the role in my life? Who am I as the superhero, super shero in my life? The passion, the identity. What's the activity that goes along with my passion and my role? What's the calling? The calling to contribute to that North Star. What is it that I want to contribute to? Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist that I'm very fascinated by, says that when we awaken that feeling of wanting to have a dream, we become very specific and aware about what is our dream. But in that moment, we also get aware about, what am I lacking at the moment? What isn't suiting my needs right now? And the secret to manage your state is being able to hold these two, what am I lacking and my dream, and not fall into the gap, but managing those two to be able to fill that dopamine level over and over again, from having the experience that you reach your dream so you can hit that goal over and over again. And the way I work with this as a speaker today, as a coach and a trainer, is that I use simple hypnotic techniques. And I just would like to ask in this forum, there are some people that have the camera on and some do not. Would you like to try for yourself today a self-hypnotic technique to connect yourself with that North Star and feel how that feels? So we have people that nod. Amazing. Chris, yes, please. So let's get into that. So today you have that chance to try one of those hypnotic techniques to discover and strengthen your North Star and work yourself backwards for your plan. There are a couple of things you need to prepare for this exercise. And I saw that one of the people calling in today, I don't remember who that was driving right now. So you can try this exercise when you are on both feet or one feet as me on the ground and not driving, because that's not really suggested. But there are a couple of things you need to prepare, and that are 3 sheets of small paper that you put on the floor. And on those 3 sheets, you write today, North Star, and goal. So today, North Star, and goal. And once you have written today, North Star, and goal, you put these papers, these sheets, like a timeline on the floor. And if you have never put it on the timeline before, you just imagine as if time was on a line and you were going to place out today the North Star and the goal. And think of it as the North Star is the end vision and the goal is in between you today and the North Star. Okay. So what we're going to do is going to start on today, to stand on today. And you can, if you want, to take off your camera if you want. You stand on today and you will follow my guiding. You can close your eyes for this entire exercise, or you can try to keep your eyes open if you want to. That's completely your choice and what feels best for you. And as you stand on today, just place your feet on the ground and take a couple of deep breaths to just ground yourself to today, 23rd of January. And you do what you need to do to just stay present. If you need to move your body or stand still. But just allow yourself to let everything, all the to-do lists and everything, stay outside of this exercise right now and just take this time for yourself. And just start to being conscious of your breath, where that is in your body. If it's high up in the chest, if it's a little bit deeper towards your belly button. And you don't have to push anything down, but just note where it is. And become aware of that the North Star is awaiting in the future. And if you do not stand facing your North Star, adjust your standing that you stand and look at the North Star. And just know that you can already start to sense that future. But as you stand in the current right now, just pay attention to. Pay attention to what it is that you'd like to create. Become aware about that dream. What is it that you'd like to create? Also become aware about what it is you want to avoid in your life. What you no longer want. Note what your passions are. What makes your heart sing? What makes you forget about time and space? And imagine the road that is in front of you. The road filled with goals towards your North Star. And just note what you see and what you feel right now, standing in today. And in a couple of seconds, I'll ask you to walk to your first goal on your timeline. The goal that is in between you right now and the North Star, the goal you're aiming for. Go there right now to your goal. And as you arrive at your goal, just note what you see right now. If you're inside or outside, if you're alone or with others. Just note what you see. And now pay attention to what you hear in this goal, having reached this goal on the way to your North Star. What do you hear? What thoughts do you think or tell yourself? Or what are other sounds you hear around yourself? And finally, what do you feel now when you experience this goal with your senses, being conscious of what you see, what you hear, and what you feel? And if this feeling were somewhere in your body, where would it be? In a couple of seconds, I'll ask you to go to your future self. So imagine that you take decided steps to your future self in your North Star on your timeline. Go there right now. Experience what it's like to arrive in your North Star. That full purpose of what you want to contribute to, what you want to give further, what you want to share. And note here what you see when you do that, so that you can contribute, share, let others grow. Note what you see, if you're inside or outside, if you're alone or with others. And imagine as if someone would hold a speech for you right here, with you doing what you do in your full purpose of your North Star. Somebody holds a speech for you. Who would that be? What would they say? The speech of appreciation. What would they say? Note what you hear now when you listen to this speech and you are completely in your North Star situation, where you know, experience, and feel everything that you do contributes to other people, help people grow, share your knowledge and experience. Pay attention to how that feels in your body And if you feel like you want to move your body to this feeling, start doing that. Let this feeling grow in your body to every cell in your whole being. Let this feeling grow beyond your physical body and outside in the space you are right now. Let it grow beyond the city where you live, the country where you're based. Let this feeling reach beyond even the country and out in the world. Let it grow so big, and let this vision of what you see, of what you hear, and what you feel right now become crystal clear. Turn around right now and just look at your way, your road up till now. From 23rd of January, and just note where you are right now in your North Star, when that is, time-wise. Here you have an overview on your whole journey. You have an overview on your whole journey where you see crystal clear. You see crystal clear all the steps you've taken to reach this North Star. You see all the people's hearts that you have touched along the way. And you feel the ripple effects. Let yourself take in this overview on this whole journey right now. Receive all those insights, thoughts, reflections that comes from experiencing being in your North Star, looking on your journey. And instead of asking yourself what the plan is logically to get from the 23rd of January to here, I want you to walk slowly back and stop at each point your body tells you to stop. That your body stops you to tell you about important steps in your plan backwards. So what is the step you've taken just before getting to your North Star? And you do this in your own time. And just note that step. Pick up that insight and slowly walk again back towards 23rd of January and let your body stop. And note the insights you're getting from this step. And once you've picked up on the insight, whatever it might be, on the steps in the plan of your journey, you continue to walk slowly back to 23rd of January. And once you're back on the 23rd of January, you look at your North Star in the future and you become aware of the journey you have in front of you, the steps that might be even more clear right now. And to finish this exercise, you can open your eyes if they were not even open, move your body, and come back to this room. And we'll head for some reflection of what this exercise brought you. You maybe have done an alike exercise in your life before. So maybe this was nothing new to you, or maybe you haven't done it before. Did it bring any new insights to you? And the reflection is, what insights did it bring you? So if you feel free to share in the chat or on video in this call, you're more welcome to share.
Hi, Caroline. I think I would like to share. It was pretty amazing. So on today's note, I actually saw a road full of potholes and work that needs to be done. And reflecting on that, moving forward to the goal, I was in the car driving on that road, but it was beautiful scenery around me. So with today's, I could only see the road that needs to be fixed. And with the goal, I saw beautiful scenery around me. And then with the sounds that I heard with the goal was happiness and laughter from people around me. So everyone's enjoying, the scenery, the trip. It's amazing. And then when getting to the North Star, I saw myself happy.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty amazing. Thank you so much, Caroline.
Thank you, Chris, for sharing. That's amazing. As Susie says, she's done this before. Amazing. I stood in front of the stage in Sevilla. I had my glitter shoes on. The moderator had just stepped on stage. It was time in 10 minutes. I remember that I couldn't even hold a piece of paper in my hand because I was sweating and I was so nervous that my hands were shaking. But I knew that feeling was completely right. I knew that I was nervous because it was important for me. I knew that this was yet another goal towards the North Star. I remember my teacher's voice again in the school corridor, and I remember smiling to her words when I thought about them. Those words made me go on the search. That defeated moment when I received my cancer diagnosis, when I was on the way to become golf professional and play on tour. That was yet another guide to rethink my North Star. So about the concept that the heart can be broken, but out of that broken heart, the seed can start to grow even stronger. And a mentor of mine, shared a saying that goes along with this concept and this idea that I'm sharing with you today is a saying from the Indians, that they say that be like the grass, not like the tree, Because when the wind comes and blows its strongest power and force, the grass only leans down, but when the wind is gone again, it will rise up. It will rise up back again and find its place. But the tree will be cracked and not being able to rise up. So maybe that said something for you in your business and journey of who you want to be, of how you want to integrate your passion and interest further, of how defined you want to be with your calling, of the activity that you do, and how you then can build a strong North Star out of that. So thank you so much for listening to me. I think that we open up for questions, reflections, just ideas that you would like to share in this space.
Yeah, if anyone wants to ask Caroline any questions, you're more than welcome to use the chat or even unmute yourself and ask away.
Away.
That was really amazing, Caroline. Thank you so much. I've never done an exercise like that.
Oh, that's great to hear. And I love that you shared about the perspective that was changed when you stepped to the different zones. That's really great. And Philip, you were also calling in last time I was on here. It's great to see you again here.
Great to see you too. Yeah. I just wrote a question in the chat, but I'll say directly. So how often do you do this exercise so that it anchors with you?
Yeah, so whenever I stand actually in front of a bigger decision, which I don't really know how to deal with, I actually do such an exercise or an alike exercise that can help me find the answers. Because sometimes I feel like I can get very locked if I just think about it logically, and I have to go deeper into my body to feel the answer or to get the answer from another space of myself. Because I'm then too locked and I don't know what to do, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. And I've just come back from a training in Sweden. I did 4 days of hypnotic exercise with the participants that were there, and that was just truly amazing to see when you stand on the other side of the process and you're not doing the exercise, but you see everyone else doing it, like Chris shared with us right now, of the insights that are awakened. And that's like the inner resources that comes out, which is just pure magic to see. Amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
It is.
And I'm curious to hear, Kubus, you're an athlete as well. Have you done anything like? I mean, it's not so unusual to do hypnotic exercises being an athlete, but it depends on the trainer and the coach.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think probably Chris got it wrong in the beginning. He was speaking about someone else, but I work with athletes, so I do get it. Triggers that he spoke about was not me. So I wish I could be an athletic. I don't have elbows and ankles, so I live in pain most of the day. I'm known as the Viking, so nice to see someone from Sweden. I was there the other day in Gothenburg. I call it, it's where Batman stays, by the way, if anyone wants to know. But this exercise helps a lot. I think I did this earlier this year as well, and it was nice to just reflect on it again. I think it's important. It's just taking that moment of time just to reflect, go into yourself. And I think we sometimes forget we have all of the answers inside of us. And, you know, I sometimes wonder why do we always need someone to just remind us again and guide us, you know, and like, why can't we just make this habits in our life to constantly do this? I think that's probably the secret. It's like, not to wait for calls like this to do something like this, but to incorporate tools like this in our weekly, monthly sessions where we spend time with ourselves. So thank you again for that. And I loved your talk.
Thank you so much. Love your reflection. Why not doing this on a regular basis? Love it. And not wait for confirmation, right? That others tells us, or wait that we find answers outside ourselves. Yeah.
A
A
I
quick
see
question.
we've got a.
Is Bert
Yes,
your
sorry, go ahead.
younger brother? I just see the similar surname.
Yeah.
That's why. Just take it, Cubans, just take it. Why not? Yeah.
Must be younger brother.
Yes. Any
Awesome.
more reflection, thoughts, ideas that came up through this?
Caroline, maybe I can just mention the I do mindfulness meditation as a like a frequent practice, a daily practice, and I was just I think surprised by how this sort of agrees with the deeper meaning that I find there in terms of the steps that are required on the path, you know, to the goals towards reaching my North Star, or my Southern Cross, as I've come to think about it. Yeah, the concepts of kindness and compassion, and being less judgmental and more accepting, those sort of deeper meaning feelings, and realizing how that also links to you know, to the business strategy and that side of things, which is sort of the angle from which I came into this discussion. So it's just nice to see how the deeper level of meaning aligns with this exercise. So thank you. That was lovely.
Thank you so much. I love that you said that you were surprised, and that you can also, from what I understand, apply this from a business perspective, because that's really what it's about. Yeah, as well. Great. And lovely to see we have the same surname. Awesome.
Yes, it's unusual, certainly in these parts. I'm in South Africa, so here it's not a common surname. So maybe up north it's more common. Or is it quite an unusual surname?
I live in Germany, and here we have a lot of Moors.
You
But
do? Okay.
I think it comes from Africa.
No, well, my specific line of Mohr comes from Austria, apparently.
Austria. Are
Yes,
they?
from the monk who composed Silent Night. So I don't know how the monk has had this many offspring, but he did compose Silent Night, so that's my claim to fame.
Oh, great to hear. Thank you so much, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caroline, and everyone that joined us in live today, everyone that's joining on the replay, and then also on the podcast. It's our first one of the year, and there's going to be many more to come. Thanks again, and I hope everyone has a great week. I'll see you again next week.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.